Ladies and gentlemen, this is ShedLife, presented by Jason Davis, and it starts right now.
Woo! What an intro. That is awesome. Thank you. We got MC Mike Hay in on the ShedLife, in the shed today. Father from Taupua, elderly care worker during the day, but I've known him and seen him emceeing awesome events, Chaos in the Coromandel, War in the Waikato. I wanted to reach out to get him in the shed because we're about good people having a yarn and telling good stories. So welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, man, we've made it happen. It's good. You're emceeing the War in the Waikato tonight and done the weigh-ins. So we're doing it here on a Saturday. As I said, I've seen you in action. I've always been pumped with the energy that you bring in that. And I think an MC, whether it's a wedding, a boxing event, any of these things, is often the person that makes the event. You know, like a good one makes a great event great. It's when someone's poor that you really notice. Anyway, how did you get into MCing?
Well, I used to train out of Freestyle FC in Morrinsville under Mike Waitai.
Yeah.
And every Sunday, my flatmate Daly and I would be watching UFC religiously every Sunday, whether it's a pay-per-view or just a standard fight night. But every time we'd watch a fight, I would try and mimic the great Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
And so when I do it at home, my flatmate would just keep saying to me, mate, you actually need to give this a go at shows, and I'm going to let Mike know. And I was kind of nervous at first to do something like this because it's quite a performance, if you will.
Yes.
So we were sitting down in his garage after training one day, and Daly said to me, bro, you should give it a go. Show Mike. Eventually, they prodded it out of me, and that's how it started, really. Mike said, nah, mate, you're doing my show. He didn't really give me a choice. Yeah. But it's led me down a really different path to life. And, yeah, I appreciate that of Mike.
Awesome. And how many years have you been doing it? When did you do the first show?
I think it was around the end of 2023 I started. I did my first show for Mike.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and was it something, had you seen it earlier growing up as well? Because I've always appreciated whether it is Bruce Buffer, or I think it's his brother Michael Buffer as well, all the heavyweight. You know, you'll do a better one of it, the heavyweight championship of the world, you know, in the wrestling and all these things is the way that they would intro and do it.
Yeah. It's hard not to get enamored by the let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Especially It's Time. Oh, yeah. I wish I could go to a live UFC event just to feel the energy, and you can hear the crowd too go with him. Yeah. And I think for an MC, that is the ultimate sign of respect, is when the crowd's actually mimicking with you while announcing. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's such a key part of it. So how did it go? First event, Freestyle MMA. I said they were always running MMA events and that around Morrinsville.
It went all right. I think I ended up losing my voice for the first event. It was definitely a learning curve. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it because there were a few promoters that came up to me during that show to book me in for their show. Yeah. But it's just like any performer, really. When you look at your first attempt at something, you kind of cringe a little bit because you recognize the growth that you've had within whatever you're choosing to do.
Yeah. Awesome. And I suppose what we wanted to go through is what is it taken, but what are some of the highlights already of the shows that you've got to do and the fighters that you've been able to announce and call for?
Probably the first one that comes to mind is a show for Nigel Elliott. He had Lani Daniels' world title fight against Bola Tito Oluwole in Hamilton recently. I think it was a couple of years ago now. I believe that was her last fight before she fought Clarissa Shields for the heavyweight world title. Yeah. And I remember that being a fantastic event, and I really practiced a lot leading up to the event. And it was a really big honor to do a world title fight so early on into my MCing career.
Yeah, so that is awesome to be able to, what did it be, 12, 18 months into it?
Yeah. Oh, like
maybe less.
Yeah, maybe I think it was around 12 months into it. But it was at a fantastic venue at in Hamilton here, Claudelands Arena.
Yeah.
And it was my truly first taste at a really big show of quite a high importance, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But it was an amazing fight, mate, between Bolatito and Lani. It was very much a power versus speed and accuracy, where Bolatito she's the Nigerian national champion, and she came in and she was really wanting to win that fight, man. And she was thrown with some seriously scary power. And Lani was just too quick and too agile and too accurate with the jabs. It was truly a beautiful performance to watch, honestly.
Awesome. And so you'll just talk us through what is involved in a show and in between the fights. Because I was there at the Chaos in the Coromandel. It was one of Francis Waitai's homecoming, maybe 18 months ago now. Maybe 2 years. It doesn't matter. What I noticed was you would be upping the tempo as the night got on and bringing it as the different fighters, but you were still really got into it. You had excellent pronunciation.
Thank you.
Because in the New Zealand fight game, we've got all cultures, all people are doing it. So there's a lot of, they're all not just Jason Davis and Waitai, like simple
Islander names and
Pacific Islands, African names, Indian names, also, everyone's involved in the fight game, which I love. It's probably the most multicultural sport in New Zealand.
Well, you can go from African to Islander, like Israel Adesanya's, for instance, his name is Israel Mobolaji Temitayo Odunayo Oluwafemi Owolabi Adesanya, which is a hell of a long name, but he takes a lot of pride with that sort of,
Absolutely. I think I have pride in my name, you have pride in your name. It's just, in our context, they're quite simple names.
Yeah.
To say. And so you're then getting to sit ringside and watch these ones?
Oh, yeah, which is awesome. And one thing that you don't really see on TV, or if you're sitting too far away in the crowd, is you don't actually hear the shots. And mate, when you're at these shows and you see these 65, 62 kilo fighters, and it sounds like a bloody brick wall being smashed into when they throw these punches. And sometimes it's terrifying, man, just listening to some of these hits. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, that would absolutely fold me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were saying before we started recording and rolling, it's just just how tough. There's no such thing as an easy fight in the New Zealand fight game. I've never seen anyone turn up to lose, and I've never seen anyone turn up. And you can judge people based on their body type, but as Tyson Fury has proven time and time again, that is not the sole indicator of what's going on.
Ever since getting introduced to the combat sports world, sometimes I used to judge people's toughness based off how they look, how they held themselves when they walk.
Yeah.
But then once you start walking into gyms and you can see these nerdy looking teenagers absolutely whooping ass, and it's just like, you can't walk down the street now knowing that's happening at the gym. And I don't know, it's changed my perspective on how I judge the toughness or tough looking dudes.
Yeah, 100%. It's when you involve yourself in the martial arts community and boxing and all of it, they're all just different forms of a martial art, I firmly believe. But you realize you've got no ability to tell who's actually a genuine, lethal killer out there or not, because the skill set of someone that's doing taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, you've just often got no idea. And then the tougher they are, the more likely they are to be humble, but also think it's hilarious to not show off that they're, they don't need to prove anything because they know that they're proving it.
Yeah, and I think there's I'm trying to remember his name. Give me a second. Hopefully you can edit this bit out.
Yeah. Wait.
Hardcore. Have you heard of Richie Hardcore?
Yeah, definitely.
So he does a lot to do with taking away that sort of toxic masculinity behind those big and tough men, and just showing that it's actually okay not to try and show that outer tougher shell. But it's important to have that tougher inner shell for yourself. Yeah.
I think what it is, and this is what the fight and people misconstrue a lot of the time, is the kids, whether it's boys, men, it can be women as well, that are going around and they're attacking each other and bully all these. They're often really either bullied somewhere else or weak, and they're trying to show off this exterior toughness of it. And then people that actually train for it know what's going on and get an outlet to do it, and they get shown, much less likely to get themselves in trouble or do it because you've got an outlet for it. But also how to do it healthy is, in a healthy environment, in a healthy way.
And that's the best thing about these gyms, is they're providing an alternative pathway for teens who may be going down the wrong path in life, but who just don't have almost a father figure there to just gently guide them to being of good character.
100%. I love it. We're supporting that. So I've got my Never Surrender shirt on today. But it's the amount of young guys and girls that will go through and they will join a boxing gym or some sort of martial arts gym. I did it myself with my man John and Taekwondo back in the 90s. Is young men in particular. I'll speak for young men because I'm a man. It's just easier, but I'm sure it could be the same for young ladies, but I'm not right. But is you're looking for somebody else. It's almost natural whether you've still got a father or not, which is quite common not to, is looking for role models.
Yeah.
If we were to think back to what historically in the past, you'd have either entered a really hardcore workforce really young, and then that would be your crew, whether you're in the railway crew or the mining crew. Or
military.
Yeah. Well, I'll put the military to one side, but you might have gone into, sailing, hunt, whatever. Or definitely the military. And so then the military, you're obviously then in fight order and that sort of things, is we don't have that at all really in the New Zealand society. So you're going in there, instead of getting into trouble, and the amount of young guys that aren't getting into trouble because they suddenly find something interesting to do.
Yeah. And an outlet, as you said before, an outlet.
An outlet for the testosterone, an outlet for the energy, people to look up to. And then a culture of discipline, respect.
And there's also people within the gyms that can definitely keep you in check as well.
Oh, 100% is about it. And I love it over in Thames at Never Surrender. The amount of young, tough guys that turn up thinking they're pretty tough. And then after a training session or two, or once they're doing the abs at the end, and I'm whoa, I'm not nearly as tough as I thought.
3 minutes into a tough sparring session. Oh, you're tired now.
You've got.
I've done that before. When I first rolled up to freestyle, I was like, all right, let's see what I can do. And I was sparring with my old flatmate Daly, and we were going hard sort of around 3 minutes, and then I started getting real tired, and I was like, oh yeah, all right, no, that's we'll have a quick break. He's like, oh, you're tired now? No, we can't just have a break mid-round, bro. And he went on to kick my ass.
Yeah.
That was and one thing that's, I think the outside community looking in is they don't actually realize there's fucking levels to the game.
Oh,
and it's scary, the difference between someone who's been training for 1 month to 1 year. Mate, there's a big technical difference already right there. So these big tough guys walking in don't quite understand the level difference. To say someone like Israel Adesanya, can you imagine the level difference between a year training compared to him? It's just...
Yeah. They're just, whenever I talk to them or get to train with them, the guys, whether it's like the George brothers, Dave Aloha, some of these, fans, they've just downloaded so many things. They know what you're doing 3 or 4 steps in front of it before you do it. Yeah, before they do it. It's, it is. And you do get to see it. It's actually pretty cool when you train in enough gyms, is you do get to see like the classic tough guy will walk in off the street and be like, I'm here to do, training. Who's your best or who is?
Give me Francis Waitai.
Yeah, they jump in the ring and it's just like they can't even touch them.
Yeah.
And then they just play with them. It's like a cat playing with a mouse.
It really is.
More like a panther playing with like a little, I don't know, a little. Anyway. Cool. Lani Daniels. We could go multiple ways with this. I would like to talk about upcoming fighters that you've been getting to see, upcoming fighters in gyms. Should we do it? Upcoming fighters in gyms that you're getting to see. We'll also want to talk about local legends on the scene.
Definitely. Definitely.
And also the scene in general, because I think you've got a very privileged look into it as you're getting to see multiple different shows, and then at a different show you're seeing multiple different gyms coming together in that. And so, let's talk about some of the upcoming fighters that you've seen on cards and are coming through in New Zealand.
Well, you could, ranging from youth right up to people starting their pro levels, man, the New Zealand scene is, ever since CKB really dominated the UFC scene, there's just been a massive influx of combat sports athletes wanting to give it a go. You got tough dudes coming in from rugby league, who really want to give it a shot in the ring. And man, some of these fighters coming up through the ranks, genuinely, you could see them entering the UFC in the future. For instance, we've got Hayden Crawford Williams from Freestyle FC. He fought in the King of Ring finals against Blood Diamond.
Nice.
It was his 15th or 16th fight, but he's fighting Blood Diamond, who's had 120 fights and fought in the pinnacle of the sport. And he did really well against Blood Diamond, really put him on the back foot in that King of the Ring final. Fantastic fight. And I hope there's a rematch one day. Promoters, if you're watching this, can you please put that replay of that fight on, please? And then you've got Louise Dykstra from the same gym. Freestyle. I got a lot of love for Mike, and it's my home team. So Louise is, I think she's like 16 years old, but she's like 16-1.
Wow.
16 wins and 1 loss, and she's got maybe 8 to 10 finishes.
Damn.
Yeah, and she's fighting every few months, man. And she's got 6 titles now.
Wow.
And she's got a 7th one booked up very shortly, which she'll be doing.
Is she in kickboxing or what?
Kickboxing and Muay Thai. And
nice.
She's going to the WBC Worlds with Mike next month, I believe. And Hayden's tagging along as well.
Where are they televised? Are they on the CSN network, or where can you see it? Because that's where it's often been our trouble to be. Where do fight fans in New Zealand that are going to be hearing these actually be able to watch and see it?
For the WBC World Champs, I don't think it'll be on CSN. They most likely would be filming it, but I'm not too sure where you could find it. I'm sure you could go onto their website and they'll provide a link to watching it. But it's awesome that we have a company like CSN. Have you met Oz Jabal?
No.
Awesome dude, mate. Awesome dude.
You're at least they're like 6th or 7th person to tell me that. So I've got Oz. We'll have to catch up. I need to meet this.
100%. Yeah, so I believe he started it during the midst of COVID. When he realized that there was really an opening in the market for a live streaming production company, and he really capitalized on that. And now he's doing the top shows in New Zealand. And CSN's synonymous within the combat sports community. I don't think there is a combat sports fan that doesn't have a CSN account, really.
It's phenomenal what he's done, and
the exposure, man.
The exposure that they're creating, and then being able to bring it all together, because being able to provide a platform to get the shows on there, record it, produce it, film it, show it off to the community. Community's happily going to support that with the dollars
100%,
to be able to do it. And then that improves the community. So it's
overall, exactly.
And so it's just and you can see it's continuing to spin
just a recursive loop, right?
And,
recursive loop of just self-improvement for this community. And they're doing really well. And like you mentioned before the filming started, with the collaboration, they're collaborating with a lot of fighters, which is also giving both parties a really good exposure to the social media world, if you know what I mean. Like some promoter overseas could be watching a CSN video going, I want that dude on my show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've seen it with the last time Francis Waitai was on there, and it was cool to see BX9, CSN, Francis Waitai, Team George Promotions, all collaborating on the reels.
That's it.
I think one of them, like the walkout, was like 1.5 million views, like huge.
Crazy, yeah.
They're going down into the marae where Francis lives and filming promo videos and then sharing it across multiple channels. So starting to see which is, I'm sure you would appreciate. One of my favorite things to watch is UFC build-up videos.
100%. I was just thinking that too, mate. Like it's very UFC-esque. They've taken the outlaid, the plan, and they've implemented it within New Zealand, and they're doing a bloody awesome job at it.
Well, because that's what it is. It's about the story. So what's so appealing to fight fans and people in general is everybody would like to look at two people and say, hey, Mike, who's going to win in that fight? Like it's a real human instinct. Who's going to win out of those ones? How is it going to go? But then it's even more exciting when you know the stories and the build-ups. And these days, as it's not all about trash talking. Sometimes it can be, and I appreciate a trash talker when they're going out and they're doing it and they're both playing the game, or sometimes they're doing it and they just get in the head of the other guy, because it is part of the game. It's selling the fight, you know.
Aaron Toe is bloody brilliant at that. He has this whole, you see it with top level athletes, it's an alter ego that they hold, and to a certain extent, I do the same thing a little bit, and it gives you a little false sense of courage.
Yep.
And Aaron Toe definitely gets into the heads of his opponents. You can see it, especially when it comes to the weigh-ins and stuff, and he just brings that mana, that energy, that Maori warrior heritage, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
So, I love watching that dude fight. He's fantastic. He had a bare knuckle fight recently, actually, in Australia.
Yeah.
He got a first round KO, I think it was.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Yeah, the bare knuckle's been going off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
especially with 1 minute scraps, eh?
Yeah. There's all these different entertaining ways that it can do it, and man, I'm for it. It's if you think that it's anyway, if you're listening to this, I don't know why I have to say it sometimes. If you think it's rough, and it is rough, but everybody's accepted this into it.
Yeah.
But it's only now that we're starting to have more and more cameras showing what's going on.
Yep.
But every Sunday afternoon across this great country, for multiple generations, there's been karate dudes, judo dudes, boxing dudes going full noise.
Yep.
And they are often fighting much harder than what you'll even see on TV. You know, like people do it and they just love it, and then they shake hands afterwards. Yeah. No different to just like a hardcore rugby match. You know, like up and down the country. There's dudes and dudettes like smashing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, that's like we only live once. We do it. We choose it. Yeah, we might as well enjoy it, and we choose our own things. It's like,
and ultimately, it's these fighters' choice to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
For their own reasons, whether it's something to prove something to themselves, or just to try and grow. As I don't think there is any other better way to judge your growth by actually getting into the ring and having a fight.
Yes.
Because really, you're not only fighting an opponent, you're fighting yourself.
Yeah.
The tiredness, the lactic acid to keep going. And that's why I have so much respect for fighters, even fighters having their first time, because it takes a bloody huge amount of courage to even step through those ropes.
Oh, 100%. I have, and you'll be in the same, utmost respect for somebody, whether it's their first time or their 100th time, but almost more of the first time, is going in and stepping into the ring and giving it a go, because there's no team, you can't pass the ball. As you said, once that bell goes, it's just all on for the next, whether it's minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, it's all on. But that's when people get to find themselves and what they're made of. And you'll have seen this. I've been at so many corporate events, and two dudes going for it. winner and a loser, and they're always giving a hug and shaking hands afterwards.
Massive respect.
And there's this bond that develops, even if they never catch up again, that is just deeply human.
Yeah. Brotherhood through war.
Yeah, that's it. And they've like fought and committed and done everything together. And sure, there'll be a few, bit of a sore head, but no real issues. And then, it's just a powerful, really powerful human emotion and spirit. And I think
what a way to bond with someone, right?
Yeah. Especially and I truly believe we all have different things that are just inbuilt into our DNA and our genes. As some people love to be gardeners, some people love to fish, some people love to hunt, some people love to fight, some people care way more than others, some people. And so, but fighting definitely is just an innate for a lot of people. And so to deprive it or to be funneled the wrong way. So somebody that just desperately wants to fight, but they're not in a gym and they're doing it with people that they shouldn't be out on the street or something like that's an issue. That's why I need to be in the gym. And that's why the gyms in the martial arts community is so popular, because people want to be around it. They can do it
100%
in the right settings.
And it prevents things like king hits.
Yes.
For instance, that Lightning Mike Angrove, he's doing a lot of good work. As well as Eugene and the team at CKB to preventing the king hit. They've been at Parliament speaking to politicians about it. Just trying to get more severe consequences for something like a king hit.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think New Zealand needs straight rules and boundaries around these things. But I love that they're just going out there and they're saying there's nothing tough about going up and punching somebody else in the back of the head when they're not watching. If you want to be tough, just come down to any endless one of the gyms that are available up and down this great country.
And do it safely.
Just sign up.
Do it in the right spot.
Sign up for it. Do a training camp. Do it. And then, do it the right way.
If you're going to do this, all I'd ask is don't walk in with the ego, because it will quickly, you'll be in for a surprise.
Oh, yeah. Or it's walking with an ego and just... So I've done that with some jiu-jitsu training. But I didn't mind anyway, because I'd listened to enough and I was like, oh, this is going to be humbling. But it is still humbling as like 100 kg plus guy, and you're getting submitted by someone half your weight, literally. And they're bending your arms over, doing your knees.
Weird ways, and you just...
Or you think you're about to flip them or do some bear hug, and then boom, they've got your neck again. You're like, because you can, there's nothing. You can get humbled on the fight game. You can hide behind size slightly in boxing, kickboxing, but you can't hide behind it at all on the mat.
I tell you what, going back to the subject of up-and-coming fighters, even Kara has some really great up-and-coming fighters. I was talking to Greer Hall last night, who actually just qualified for the New Zealand Commonwealth team.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, so congratulations, Greer. Good work. Again, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of effort, a lot of dedication to be able to fight for a spot in the Commonwealth team is a great achievement in itself. There's the likes of Ghost Fist Liga. In Auckland, they have a guy named Isaiah Licky. I think he just turned 18, but man, this dude has some of the best Muay Thai you will see in New Zealand. Just real fluid, and his strikes are just, man, they're picture perfect. The technique is perfect. And man, once he actually starts to fill out as a man, he's going to be a bloody terrifying fighter to come across. I honestly, I see him fighting in one championship easily. Easily in the future. Dominic Reed needs to be in one championship. I reckon. He's trains out of South Island Liga. He's not an up-and-coming fighter. He's already up there. Fought in multiple King in the Rings as well. And also from Ghost Fist, there's Daniel Ruanga, a.k.a. Daniel Ruanga Legadara is his full name. It's a Sri Lankan name.
Oh, nice.
This is another dude with absolutely beautiful style of Muay Thai, man. Just real fluid. When he fights, bro, he and he sets up the combinations, and it's more than just a jab. It's multiple phase combinations, which is really shows the high level thinking that he has. And when he fights, you can hear his coaches, Eti Nasseri and Tate Brady. You can hear them calling out moves, and he's actually listening to their coaches, and I find that's a really good measure. Me personally, anyway, is I love it when I can hear the coaches yelling out moves and the fighters are actually listening to them, because a lot of the time it's actually successful.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of times where fighters sometimes don't listen because just the adrenaline and whatnot, the noise of the crowd. But yeah, when a fighter really listens to the coach, man, it really makes a huge difference within their fight.
Yeah, I like how you brought that up, because I've seen so many. Yeah, and you do notice it. You notice it as a fan when you're watching on TV, and often the fighter will have said, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fight a real smart fighter. I'm going to do this. And then the bell goes and they just run in there straight away.
Yeah. And like you can hear them during the mid-round breaks as well. You can, like, as they're sitting down in the corner, the coach is making eye contact with them and he's just going full blast with moves to do. And you can actually just see them take it in, acknowledge it, and then they go and implement it within that second or third round.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. Frankly, there's quite a few, almost too many to name, of upcoming fighters in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I just hope that all of these fighters maintain their love for the sport and don't lose interest. I just hope they don't lose interest, because, man, they could go all the way, bro.
Yeah.
All the way. Do you know who Sifu Philip Lam is?
I've heard the name, but tell me more.
Right. So when you look at Israel Adesanya and Carlos Ulberg winning their UFC titles, they would not have won that without the teachings of Sifu Philip Lam. So he was given the moniker Ghost Fist by the Hong Kong media because he could throw 29 punches in 3 seconds. This dude could punch you so fucking quick, you wouldn't even see that punch coming. And so he migrated to New Zealand in the early 70s, and he started a gym called City Liga.
Yes.
To which he trained a very successful bunch of fighters that traveled around the world, battling world-class opponents, winning world titles. But from there, when you zoom out a little bit, it's like a very intricate woven fabric. So you got all these intricacies, and for instance, one of the students of Sifu Philip Lam was Lolo Heimuli. So Lolo Heimuli started Balmoral Liga at the back of a church. They reused the classroom. They emptied all their mattresses out. And he also did this with the late, great Tojo Dixon, also, which was his good friend. He was a mentor. He was a great man, honestly.
Yeah.
I had the fortunate time to meet him and chat with him, and he was a great man. But they emptied out the old church classroom, and what they built was an absolutely terrifying killer fight team from the 90s. I'm talking about Ray and Ronnie Seffel. You're talking about Jason Psycho Sutty. You're talking about Doug Viney, Lightning Mike Angrove, Eugene Behrman. These dudes were all top-level athletes in kickboxing and winning things like the K1 Grand Prix or the K1 Max Oceania. And these students went on to start their own gyms who equally had their own successes. And Eugene, Doug Viney, and Lightning Mike Angrove started City Kickboxing. And the teachings that came from Sifu Lam sort of filtered through and created what we know as City Kickboxing and multiple UFC world champions. Frankly, it's an awesome story when you really start to look at how everyone contributed, everyone collaborated together. Yeah. Right. So Izzy went on to fight in King of the Ring, which was started by Jason Suddy, who trained under Lolo. Yes. So like that was really, and one great one great thing about King of the Ring is it provides a huge platform for these fighters to showcase themselves to the world. Yes. And they just, they leapfrog to the highest echelons of the sport, like the UFC.
Yeah. And so is Sifu Philip Lam still with us?
Yes, he is. He had his final show last year, which was his 50th anniversary. Wow. It was a star-studded event, mate. It was awesome. And I'm very fortunate to have done announced a show for him as well.
Wicked.
It's a big part of my ring announcing journey is the legacy behind it. Mm-hmm. So it's not so much just doing the show, but it's also being a part of the story of New Zealand combat sports history.
Yeah.
Really, and just being able to contribute towards it. And so when I think of these big shows, I think of legacy. Like I did Sifu's show.
Yeah.
Do you know who Shane Chopper Chapman is? 4-time world champion, fought out of City Liga as well.
Yeah.
Great man. He is now a coach at Hitman Liga in Auckland. Mm-hmm. So just going back to the Liga story. So Sifu founded Liga.
Yep.
And all these different Liga gyms started popping up around New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And they're all still collaborating together. They're all still fighting each other.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really awesome story, man. I don't think it gets told enough.
No, not at all. Like, I was not aware. No, I hadn't heard that story, and as we're here stories to give people working hard, and I love that one.
Sifu was actually instrumental in bringing Muay Thai to New Zealand. So at the time, the New Zealand government would not sanction any Muay Thai because they saw it as like a blood sport or too rough. And this man fought, and he fought, and he fought, and he finally got it approved, and he promoted the first Muay Thai show in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. In fact, he even flew over Thai coaches to start teaching at City Liga, and he was just instrumental in Muay Thai being developed in New Zealand.
And so Sifu Philip Lam had come from Hong Kong, where he had learned Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Interesting.
I believe it might have been Wing Chun or something similar. It wasn't quite Muay Thai. It was one of the subcategories of Kung Fu.
Which should have been only after the Bruce Lee era.
Yeah.
Of it. It's
flow like water.
It's that's such an interesting way that it's all
it's melded together, right?
Yeah, like melded together. And they've all been able to bring over and come to New Zealand. So what shows have you done? I think it would be really interesting just to hear since you started.
I'm almost on 100 shows.
Work it.
Yeah. Man, honestly, I've done it for probably around 35 different promoters around New Zealand.
Yeah.
People like Jason Psycho Sati, Lolo Heimuli, Sifu Lam, Kara George as well, or Team George Promotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would just want to, like, what are the shows called in highlight fights from these shows? Let's just go through some of these ones. Because I'm just now fanboying on you, MC Mike. You're just like, whoa, all these dudes. Like, I've gone around the sun a few more times, but I'm like, man, I just grew up on like Ray Sifo, Monk Hunt, watching these dudes. The K1 was so big.
Ray Sifo versus Mark Hunt.
Oh, man.
One of the most legendary kickboxing fights any person will ever watch.
Yeah, that's it. And you're just watching two Kiwi dudes, I'm actually from Auckland. Like, Auckland is just watching and going for it.
South Auckland breeds them tough, mate. Breeds them tough.
So,
Smack Gym actually is a really tough gym in South Auckland.
Yeah.
Run by Baby Nansen, Sam the Shank, who also won King in the Ring.
Yeah.
And Ants Nansen, the notorious Ants Nansen, also a King in the Ring winner, I believe. Mm-hmm. Really tough dude, man. Really tough dude. In fact, that fight with Dakama Armstrong is probably one of my favorite fights of all time.
Yeah.
These two dudes just bit down and just swung for days, mate. There was blood everywhere. It was I didn't ring announce that. I watched it, but man, my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah. When two dudes just throw down the gauntlet and just go for it, there's just the energy, the vibe of what they do. It's just, we go back to that warrior spirit, and I've thought this before, is like often armies and that would resolve the thing by sending out their two greatest champions, and the champions would battle to save everybody else's lives fundamentally. And it's often,
can we do that with politicians?
Oh man, wouldn't it be lovely? I don't think
Luxon versus Albanese.
But yeah, man, it's just watching these dudes just absolutely, just go for it. I love it. You can just sense the power and you can sense the money of what they're doing there.
And it's a different level of courage to really just bite down and just go, fuck it, whatever happens. Let's just fucking rumble.
Yeah, let's just go.
That's what I love about Dicamid Armstrong. That dude is a seriously terrifying fighter, man. Have you seen much of Dicamid?
No.
So he won 1 minute scraps. He did it in convincing fashion, knocking out most of his opponents.
Yeah.
He's the type of dude that just tucks the chin, and he has a lot of ring IQ, mate.
Yeah.
So, which is buzzy for me to see someone so aggressive and forward, yet so technically and high fight IQ and just calculated.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking out the 1 minute scraps. But he's also fought on the biggest shows in New Zealand, like King in the Ring, Arsenal X. He's fought on a few shows in South Island, I believe. Shuriken champion, WBC champion, WKN kickboxing world champion. Like, this dude's done it all, man.
Yeah.
And he's sort of entering maybe into the later stages of his career. But man, this dude just wants to fight.
Yeah.
He does it very respectfully. He doesn't call people out for a 1 ounce.
Yeah.
But man, he's keen to fight anyone and anybody.
Yeah.
Promoters around the world, if you're watching, can you please put on Dicamid Armstrong versus Mini Nashar from Australia? Mini Nashar is another heavyweight warrior, man. He has a really good record. He's a super heavyweight or / heavyweight, but man, he hits like a bloody lightweight.
Yeah.
Like the speed with heavyweight power, but his technique is real crisp, and a fight with him versus Dicamid Armstrong would be the fight of the year. Fight of the year easily. So promoters, can you please put that on please?
I would just love to see this ongoing over the next couple of years, is with the ability of social media to actually
promote the fighters.
Promote the fighters, find these guys, and then do it, because you just see undercards, like you'll sometimes see the undercards of like huge fights over in the UK and Saudi, and you're like, man, there's so many Kiwis that could be absolutely killing it
could be
on
right
there. There. You just need to.
There's a fighter that I recorded a video of. His name's Anwar Almidi. So he's a Taekwondo specialist, but moved on to a Muay Thai gym.
Nice.
But you could see the Taekwondo in his technique, and it's really helped him. And he has a beautiful spinning back kick. So I posted it on Instagram, and it's just crossed 1 million views, which is just incredible exposure for him.
Yeah.
Just for promoters, just to see the abilities of him. And I hope it leads to something good, frankly, because that's what we need. We need to be encouraging each other, raising each other up.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing in the game, is just raising each other up and being able to talk about the stories, talk about who's coming up and trying to set them up, because...
Well, once Izzy got to the top, first thing he did was chuck the ladder down.
Yeah.
Mate, that speaks a lot about the character and the good character that he is. As soon as he gets to the top, he puts a ladder down for his friends.
Yeah.
Come on up, mate. And, mate, they have equally had their own successes in their own right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many Kiwis coming up into the UFC.
Mate, when Carlos...
Or he shouts them out as well.
Yeah.
I love that on his socials and that, or you're watching on the YouTube and that, and he's going to the local events, he's showing and promoting it, and he's given those dudes, because he knows what it's like. And then, rather than closing the door behind him, he's got those doors open and he's doing it.
Could you imagine the pressure that this dude is under? Like, you've got tens of millions of people. Eyes are all watching you, all critiquing you.
Yeah.
This dude can't even go out in public to a restaurant anymore.
No.
And sometimes you've got to question, man, is all that fame worth it? Worth not just for the fact that he can't really go out and enjoy a normal life anymore. And I mourn for him a little bit for the fact that he can't just walk out on the beach and go for a walk with friends, and he said something once, it's not just one. So when someone comes up and asks for a photo, it's just not just one person.
Yeah.
He'll be there for 20 minutes. And like, everyone just wants to take photos. Cool, it's Izzy. Yeah. But I just hope people can think about what it's like for him as well, especially fighting at the top echelon of the sport, the pressures that come with it. You know, just he's under an immense amount of pressure, and I take my hat off to him, show my bald head for just how much pressure he has on his shoulders, man. And Eugene is one of the best speakers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That dude is so poignant. He is so articulate. And he raises the fact, whenever you watch these UFC build-up photos on the Freestyle Bender page, you see him talking, and he acknowledges, like, we're only here for a short amount of time. So appreciate it while it's still here.
Yes.
Because soon it will be gone.
Yes.
And it's like, makes me sad, because it's like Father Time gets everyone, as he said.
Yeah. Yeah, Father Time does get everybody, and I really, I apply this inside my fanning life, like when I'm watching Izzy, and I really enjoyed the ride the whole way through. But just in life in general, it's that really seize the moment, enjoy the moment for what it is, because it's way more fleeting than people think. Than people think, and then give that moment the credit. And it's like someone, like we were talking with Izzy, is just, what a phenomenal athlete. Like that fight with Kevin Gastelum.
Oh, bro.
Man.
Yep.
I'm prepared to die.
I'm prepared to fucking die.
Yeah, it's just like...
That's a crazy mindset, eh?
It is a crazy mindset. That's peak warrior when he was...
Going into that alter ego that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And do you know who David Neath is?
The mindset, yes.
Yes. Yeah. The mindset coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing dude. I believe he was instrumental in helping Izzy help form that alter ego, or give him the building blocks for him to understand it. And also with the golfer,
Ryan.
She's the female
Lydia Ko.
Lydia Ko, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
If you listen to some of his podcasts, there was a mindset there that really struck me. And he was saying when she'd go to hit golf balls, her parents would be saying, okay, it's enough, time to go home.
Yeah.
And she would always say, no, one more.
Yeah.
That's an amazing mindset. That's a world champion mindset from the start.
Yes.
Which I think is great.
Yeah, that one more rep. I've got the book over there. I finished it. Champions Do Extra, Brad Thorne. Is that just... He's transitioned. He's been a champion, played Origin with the Broncos. He goes over to league. Wants to become an All Black. He's originally from like hard Southern man from Otago, but moved to Aussie at 9. And so he goes in. He's playing first season rugby, and I forget the coach. Probably wasn't Razor. It was, but anyway, the coach looks over, training's over, and he's there in the corner doing sprints and burpees. And they're like, "Why are you doing that?" Because I hate it.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like
what a mindset.
Yeah, just that mindset of the champions. I want to just touch on that alter egos. I think it's one thing. It's such a powerful thing to realize. I believe, a truly positive to be able to have different masks that you can put on for different things, different events.
100%.
Whether it's MC Mike, whether it's ShedLife. I'm a different person hosting a podcast to when I have to run the business, to when I'm a father, to when I'm a fan. It's actually good when people say, no, I'm the same person no matter what. And you're like, well, you don't need to be the same. I want to be a different person when I'm hanging around with all of my mates to when I'm hanging out with my daughter and her friends. You know, like you've got to be a different person. And thinking, what do I need to bring in that moment to be the best version of myself that this moment needs to be?
100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to be like a ring announcer when I'm at home with my kids.
Exactly. And you can't be expected to bring that level of energy. Yeah. Because that's what you've got to be able to put on this mask, or you've like, okay, you put on the jacket, I'm sure you go through it, and then you're summoning the energy to be able to, as you said, you're reaching into the legacy of the moment, the history and everything else to honor what's going on. You wouldn't be able to, if you tried to channel that energy 24/7, you'd just burn out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
there was actually when I first started this, there was a level of imposter syndrome that I felt.
Yes.
It was like, what am I doing in the ring? Do I deserve to be here?
Yes.
And it took me a while to actually just accept, look, if the promoters didn't want you to be in there, you wouldn't be in there. And it's okay to accept that you're a ring announcer, or you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to try and suppress that imposter syndrome that makes them feel like they're not worthy of being there.
Yes. Or that you had to do a certain thing to be there, that you could only be, a ring announcer. You should be a ring announcer if you've had 100 pro fights or 10 pro fights. I should only be able to run a podcast and talk, about my fan of the fight game if I've had it, And you're like, no, if you can deliver and do it, you can do it.
Yeah,
and we've all,
100%.
I do believe this, we are all the main characters in our own life. We can't control anything else, but we can control how we feel and act in our own life into the situation. And so there's no one that says that you're the if you can get yourself into this situation and you can do it, then you can do it. There's but also, and it's that same thing with and I bring this up because I've had a few mental health episode type things, obviously myself, but like more people talking about it on this is what I actually meant with the mental health episode. Anyway, is anxiety and imposter syndrome. Everybody has it. And I talk about this one for the anxiety. I was talking about, Christian, and he was off to run youth camp, and he was like, I'm going to be talking about anxiety with all these kids, And I was like, hey man, if you want to let them know, I'm anxious every day. I think everybody's anxious all the time. And there's a bit of a chat going around, or people saying that being anxious is a bad thing. You'd have to be a sociopath not to be anxious. I'm sure you're anxious walking in here going, okay, I'm meeting Jace for the first time officially, coming on a podcast. I'm like, hey, I'm meeting Mike for the first time. Fight it. Everybody, it's normal because it's prepping you to give your best.
It's your body's natural response, I think.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, one big part of my ring announcing, one thing that's helped me and a lot of other fighters as well, and a lot of athletes, is manifestation.
Yes.
I'm a massive believer in manifestation. If you can dream it, you can see it, you can make it happen. Yes. And I'm a firm believer in that. It's really helped my career, actually, especially when I just mentally think about what I'm going to say during the night, picturing the crowd, the smells, the sounds of the punches, the ring. I try and really think about everything, that it calms me to a certain extent once I'm in there, because I've pictured it 1,000 times in my mind. And for people like Israel Adesanya, manifestation has been a huge part of his career. He's talked about it on end.
When you talk about manifestation, are you manifesting the positives or the negatives?
Manifesting the outcome that I want in my life.
What I think is so powerful of realizing manifestation is the majority of people manifest their lives without realizing it. And so they're dwelling on a negative. They're like, why does this always happen to me? Or what's going on with my life? And they're manifesting their own life. As I said, I believe
they're almost looking for it, right?
They're almost looking for it, and they don't realize is you can manifest it the other way. And it's simply the questions you ask in your mind. It's like, if you want a ring announce, I don't know, if you want to do something, it's like, how do I achieve this? And then what would it look like if I did? And you start putting that mental picture into your head, and it will not necessarily happen straight away. It won't happen necessarily the way that you think, but you will be shocked at how often what you manifest turns itself into reality.
The universe has a very funny way of opening its doors up to you.
Yes, it does.
If you really think about things that you want in life.
Yeah. Particularly, it does it both ways. If you're trying to manifest unknowingly or knowingly negative, that will often happen to you. And I'm not taking away, horrific things happen to good people all the time. And that is also one of the strange things of the universe, is the constant challenges we have to overcome. But on the flip side, when good people doing the right thing and manifesting, it is amazing how often the doors will open.
Yep.
A convenient phone call will happen.
Yep.
Someone will say, hey, I believe this so strongly. When you're on the path, you start to see it in all things, and the path becomes clearer and clearer, and you know how to navigate.
When something bad happens to me, my mindset is generally saying, okay, one door's closed, which it has many times when it comes to my ring announcing, but 3 more generally open up after that one door closes. And it's just almost just sitting and reflecting and just looking for those opportunities to open up. And it really helps, actually.
Definitely. For at least the last 20 plus years, I've thought to myself, anytime something bad happens and going through lots, what is the silver lining is the old-fashioned way of saying this. But how do I turn this to my positive? How do I turn this into a positive? Yeah. How do I use this for me? What is the lesson in there? And sometimes there's horrific things, and you're like, it can be hard. And I've had that until, there's nothing good. Why are you even doing it? And then 3 weeks, 3 months later, you're like, oh man, if that hadn't happened, that wouldn't have happened. And sometimes you've got to look a little bit further or do it. But taking that approach to my life, I can certainly say is it just continues to improve because you're like, okay, what's the silver lining? How am I going to improve? What's the value in this lesson? And then when something really bad has happened, when you try to look for the value in the lesson, you can end up appreciating the lesson rather than dwelling on why did that happen to me. It
100%, was gratitude as well.
Yeah.
That's another big thing that I'm no psychologist, but for me personally, gratitude has done wonders to how I view life, because you're almost looking for things to be grateful about. And man, that is life-changing. When you just stop thinking about, oh shit, I have no money, or, bad things that are happening. If you actually sit down and reflect, say, what do I have in my life that I am grateful for? Man, you really actually start listing a lot of bloody things that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I'm grateful that I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Because that is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Watching my kids grow up is honestly the greatest gift I could ever ask for.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, but it's also sad watching your kids grow up, because one day they won't be home. They'll be out in their own world.
I live that at the moment. My youngest has only got another 6 months at home before she's off to uni, and but it is.
It's a poignant moment, eh?
It is a poignant moment having an empty thing. Being grateful for it is, it is the beginning of everything, an attitude of gratitude. But being grateful, just fundamentally being grateful for being alive. It's so easy to forget how many people have already passed young, passed old, and that's it. We tend to only live amongst the living. But that's it. Grateful for whatever level of health, the ability to improve the health. Grateful for living in this great country. I go on about this pretty much all the time because Kiwis have really lost sight of how epic this country is, how good we have it. The level of opportunity that we have in this country, I would say, is almost unsurpassed worldwide. Because, take for yourself, you're enjoying the UFC, you're training in the Morrinsville freestyle MMA, and you go, I want to be a ring announcer. This just doesn't happen. It might happen in the US, but that is the land of opportunity, But man, being Korea and Japan only a month, it would not happen in those societies. It would be so rare for that to happen, and
I think currently civilization is living at the best time in history, really, especially with access to food, to water.
Yeah.
Again, it's that gratitude thing. Like, geez, I am grateful that I have access to clean water. A house to live in.
Our local paper, the Plains Profile, I believe, it does one of these, prints an article from 150 years ago type thing.
Yeah.
And I read the article maybe last week, and it was like, came across some dude walking between Waikino and Waitai with 3 kids, literally 2 of them were like starving. One of them's like a baby swaddled in his thing. His wife has passed. The miners raised money for him, to do it. But you're like, it wasn't a big deal. This was just writing about another 1919 or something. His wife had died in like the big flu that came after
Spanish
World War I. Yeah. And we have it so good, and people have just completely lost context of it. It's like, sure, everybody wants a 5-bedroom thing. Sure, everybody wants a, and I want the best, 4-pack. But there's this thing is no matter where we get to, humans always want to strive for more. But the universe is always going to give us challenges.
Yep.
I deal a lot in the world of quite the wealthy and well-to-do as well. And it's like, if you've got all the money, you'll have health challenges. If you've got the health and the money, you're going to have a family challenge.
Silver lining, right?
It's always going to be a silver lining. The universe is always challenging us.
But it's important to be grateful for everything that we have. And I myself still need to do it a little bit more.
Yeah. It's a journey.
Sunrise looks different when you're grateful.
Yeah,
it really
does. Yeah, it does. And it's reminding yourself of those moments when you're the most grateful, and there's a reason why. There'll be, whether it's a near-death experience of yourself or a loved one or something, really brings it in as being like, hey, these are the moments you got to lock in and sit with and remind yourself with it.
Like something that I think of, especially my missus, for instance, would say, "Oh, can you take Marley, our dog, for a walk?" And sometimes I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm tired, man. I could not be bothered." And then I actually think, you know what? Someone would kill to have the same opportunity to even just go for a walk because they may be wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
Or, there's a lot of people who are doing it a lot tougher than yourself, really, in life.
It is, and it's weird, but people seem to act like there's something wrong with doing that, or they belittle it, oh yeah, well, that's easy to say, but on it is do it, try it, and it becomes life-changing. It's like, I'm lucky to work, I'm lucky to work out, I'm lucky to do this, and you just start putting I'm lucky on the things in front of it, and it changes everything. So, yeah, that is awesome. Let's roll it back round. Talking about being grateful, what legends have you got to announce? Who have you had that where you've had these moments? I would say legend. Yeah, let's go legends that you've announced.
I did Israel Adesanya.
Work it.
But he wasn't having a fight. He was just like a special guest at a show. But
what show was that?
That was at Sifu Lam's show that he was just a special VIP guest.
Yeah.
And I got to announce him with his full Nigerian name as well.
Yeah.
Which was quite cool. It was an honor, actually. Next, I really want to do Joseph Parker because I've got his Samoan chieftain title down packed. It's Lupe Soliai La'auli Ale Maliator, Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
So that's quite a tongue twister, and it's always interesting watching other ring announcers try and pronounce that, especially in the big leagues, who haven't got quite the Islander population to have practiced those pronunciations and vowels and whatnot. And even Michael Buffer, sort of, with all respect to him, of course, he kind of cocked that up a bit. Yeah. It's quite hard off the tongue, especially if you're not used to saying Islander names. Dan Hennessy does it well, though.
Yeah, he's a legend in the game.
Definitely. I work with him at shows quite often, actually.
Yeah.
I'll do the opening half and he'll do the closing half.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Tiarani Moana, or a.k.a. Lani Daniels.
Yes.
That's still definitely one of the legends. And she, in my opinion, is my personal opinion, so please don't get mad at me, but I think she is probably the most accomplished boxer in New Zealand history. There is, to my knowledge, hasn't been any other professional boxer that has won many top-tier world titles across different weight divisions.
Mm-hmm.
So Lani Daniels has a world title in super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And she also fought the GWOAT, Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't get much bigger than Clarissa Shields, mate. It really doesn't. And she did bloody awesome, actually.
Yeah.
She looked a bit starstruck in there too, and I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
And she even said it was a holy shit moment. Like, I'm actually in the ring with her.
Yeah.
Which is, that's cool for Lani.
Yeah.
And also seen her coach as well, who's also a former world champion boxer, pass down that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Rebel, have you heard of John the Rebel Conway?
Yeah.
So he was a bloody good boxer back in the day and now a top-tier referee and judge. He did the Joseph Parker versus Andy Ruiz fight, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's obviously right up there in the officiating world. In fact, there's a lot of officials who don't get the acknowledgement that they really deserve. So, so we have several UFC officials, believe it or not.
Okay. Who have we got? Yeah, let's give the shout out to some of the top referees and officials that you actually get to see, and appreciate, because such an underappreciated part of all sports is the referees and the officiating.
100%.
Getting it right as a referee in the fight game, it's just
the pressure that comes with it. And I like to actually read up on the rules and see what referees are supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite, there's a lot of things they need to think about. Even with 8 count, for instance, they need to step in, send one of the fighters to the neutral corner, but they also need to ensure that their corner isn't coaching the person in the neutral corner, telling them what to do next. And they have to do the 8 count and whatnot and assure that once they get up, they are all there and are capable of carrying on with the fight. It's definitely not easy, and sometimes there's a move that they don't quite see. So sometimes it's hard to see a nut shot because of just the positioning and how quickly the fight is turned around. But Mark Craig is a UFC referee. He's going over to China soon, actually. He does a lot of the shows around this region. Richie Durand, he is based here in Cambridge, I believe. He is a very experienced UFC judge. Neil Swales, can't forget about Neil Swales. He's based up in Auckland. Again, and these dudes are seriously experienced and they're very knowledgeable in the sport. If I have any questions about what happens in weird situations, I'll honestly just give Mark Craig a call and he'll give me really good examples and explain why things go the way that they do.
Yeah.
Like one thing you wouldn't think of in MMA is the fact that you can actually grab their fingers and crank, but you need to grab the majority of their fingers. You can't just grab 2. You need to grab 4, and then you can start cranking or doing that. Just little rules like that. So like if, for instance, if you're in a fight and you get kicked in the face and the toenail scrapes your eye, that's a legal shot.
Yeah.
Even though it's almost similar to an eye poke, but it's still technically legal, which is quite surprising.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot of intricate details in combat sports that you wouldn't really necessarily think about, but they're there.
Yeah.
But these dudes are at the highest echelons of the sport. Doesn't get much higher than UFC.
No, it doesn't. No, not at all. Any upcoming fights? What do we think of the Nika Masson fight?
I haven't seen. So they're going to be fighting on the. What's the name of it? Duco card. Yes.
Yeah, it's the first time the Duco fight for a little while in New Zealand, I think.
Yeah. David Higgins, I believe, runs it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a world title eliminator bout for Sheila Yama. Fantastic boxer. One of my favorite female boxers.
Yeah. What do you like about Sheila?
She's aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Skilled. She's very elusive. She recently fought on the BX9 against Nailini Helu.
Yeah.
Where she landed like 6 right hooks in a row. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And she just kept on it. And wow. she's world-class quality.
Yeah.
And so I think, and her last opponent was a Chinese lass.
Yeah.
Who was, man, she could scrap as well. She was wanting to bring it, man, and she was quite big.
Yeah.
And muscular. And
taller, younger, bigger, 6-0, Chinese champ.
Exactly, undefeated as well. So and she really put a nail in that coffin. Like she's incredible, man, incredible. And I reckon she's going to go all the way and win a world title easily, multiple. And I hope she becomes a multi-division world champion too.
Yeah, and just an awesome lady as well. You know,
and David Nika, dude's that dude's such a sweetheart. Honestly, his ring name is the Nice Guy, and outside of the ring, he is genuinely a nice guy.
Yeah,
and I hope his partner's recovering well. I believe she's a little bit sick at the moment.
Yeah,
but man, the amount of courage it takes to have all of that going on at home. And then you're going to go fight for a world title fight where you fight Jai Waitai.
Yeah.
Again, how we talked about the pressure with Israel, what he was going through. Imagine that pressure coming up against a massive Australian favorite.
Yeah.
Short notice fight. But he's done well in his career, man. 2014 and 2018 Commonwealth gold medalist. I believe was he a bronze medalist in the Olympics? I believe the Tokyo Olympics. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's going to come back strong.
I think so. I think he'll come back strong. He did it.
He has something to prove. I'm coming back for it.
What about guys like Manu Vatuvai when he gets back in?
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Seeing the beast back.
Yeah. He's doing awesome. He's doing awesome, especially in the BX9. And to know that he's on the comeback.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's not all said and done. The storybook ain't closed. He's coming back, and he's coming back for greatness. And it's inspiring, especially to the younger generations. You know? Although your rugby career may be over, doesn't mean you can't try other sports as well. No. And he pulled himself out of a very dark and low spot in his life. And I have nothing but respect for that, man.
Yeah, man. He was always my favorite warrior.
Him and Conrad Harrell. I love Conrad Harrell. Oh, that dude is hilarious.
Yeah, man. He was, his smile. He had such a big smile as he bowled him over. Yeah, I love it. It's like Leka Halasima at the moment. Leka Mania, I always think.
Warriors are doing mean this season too, eh?
Warriors are doing great. They've just...
don't want to say it too early though, eh?
It's our year. I say it all the time. It's our year, baby. You can just see that they've just built such a culture within it. I just love the Warriors. I just say, whether we get it or not, I would love to see one championship, one premiership in my lifetime, and I hope that I've got another 50 years. And I don't mind because it's just so damn challenging. There's like 18 or 19 teams now. There's going to be 20. Yeah. It's just one of those ones. It's like, if we get, to get that title would be phenomenal. But I'm just stoked. If the boys are going out, they're doing well. If we're winning more games and that, it's just cool. I just enjoy the culture and the fun and that behind that team.
What do you think's the difference between previous seasons and this season? Because they seem to be on an absolute tear at the moment. Do you think it's the development squad coming through?
I think they were super fit, super strong, playing for each other. If I was to really go deep with it, I think Mitch Barnett announcing that he's leaving is Fisher Harris becoming the official, I know they're co-captains, but he is the captain of the team. Yeah. Everyone sees him as the captain, and he's truly leading that team, and he leads it the way that, he's a quiet, this is the way to do it, boys. But you can see him leading the team. I was at the NRL All-Stars and just the mana that he brings to it. So
has he got quite a good IQ within the field?
Yeah, he does. He knows what's going on. He puts on the hit when he needs to do it. He charges it up, but he puts the pressure on, and he just leads from the front. And I think... I can't really understand dudes like him, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, what they must be leading in the training thing for it. Andrew Webster now is just purely picking on form.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, he was too loyal to his top players, and he would always let them back in, and it wasn't necessarily the right way of doing it. But they just play a really hard, fast brand of footy, you know, and so it doesn't matter if the other team scores first. They're just going to keep tackling super hard, and you regularly watch the other teams against the Broncos, they start looking tired, they start looking sore, and they start looking going, I'm a bit sick of this.
Yeah.
It's just like watching, to be honest, I relate it, but it's like watching Francis Waitai, you know, in like the last fight at the BX, is guys often start and they keep pace with them quite well for the early rounds or something. And then he just starts wearing them down, and they realize, hey, I'm not hurting this guy because he's got that elusive Team George way of fighting.
Francis is running like 20 Ks a day. He's a machine.
He is. He's just always running. He's always fit. He's not partying.
That's it. He leads a very clean lifestyle.
Yeah. That's why always been my support. You know, he can still enjoy a good time, but he's out there working hard at the meat works, you know, raising a bunch of kids, you know, training all the time.
Coaching.
Yeah, coaching and good inspiration to the community of Paeroa.
100%.
I love it.
I call him the fighting pride of Hauraki.
He is the fighting pride of Hauraki. And I even just love, like, he got kicked out of school at like 14 in Paeroa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he spent a year at home on the couch, watching movies, hanging out with a bunch of older guys, drugs, drinking, and his mum. And he was like, I don't really want this life for myself. And his mum was like, come stay with me in Thames. He went, re-enrolled himself back into school, finished high school.
Wow.
That's where he found Coach Sean and Never Surrender Boxing. Yeah. But it's just like, he could have just chosen what would have been the obvious, you know, path. The obvious path. And then he had that thing of, and he made that decision as a young man, probably 15, as, hey, I don't really want this path in my life.
That's ahead of his years, if you think, and the maturity level side of things, that's quite a mature thing to sit down and evaluate your life and seeing whether or not that's the path you want to go down. When I was his age, I definitely wasn't thinking like that at his age.
And then being able to do that and, go from where everything was comfortable in the town that you'd grown up and then move to a separate town where you don't know everyone really, and then... It's
just the mindset of elite level athlete.
Yeah.
Another elite level athlete that I see has a very similar mindset is Titus Proctor from TMT in Hamilton.
Yeah.
So he fights in one championship now, 2-time kickboxing Muay Thai world champion. He's pretty much the pound for pound king in New Zealand.
Yes.
He's just, dude, I love this dude's style. Very Dutch style, aggressive kickboxing, man. Yeah. It's to watch him fight is really an honor, and I've been saying it for a while now. We need to actually appreciate that when we're watching him fight in New Zealand, because it's not going to be for much longer.
No.
Eventually, all his fights are just going to be overseas from pretty soon.
Yeah.
Actually, so just appreciate it while it's still within our community.
Yeah, I think that if you can get out and you can support these cards, and the local ones is, I'd say the majority of people that are there are supporting it. Yeah. Like they're aware. But if you're not and you're a fan and you like watching the UFC, you like watching the big names, you're looking forward to, Joshua and Fury, you like that sort of stuff, there is epic fights most weekends if you're in a big city,
Yeah.
If you even are in a smaller provincial city, you will be surprised at the quality of what's going on, because
especially how early on into their career that they are, and showing, and multiple coaches have said this to me, the level of skill that some of these fighters are showing in their first or second fight is far superior to what they had in the 90s and early 2000s. And these are coaches saying this to me, not me thinking it. So that's shows that the benchmark set is actually increasing as the years progress.
Yeah.
Because there's just better fighters, iron sharpening iron.
Iron sharpening iron, better fighters, better coaches. but also the ability to watch and study. And
yes,
so we talk about this in multiple ways. I always loved lifting. I still love lifting weights. Is the only way to find out anything about it was to get like a muscle and fitness magazine, or maybe a coach might explain it, but you'd sort of stare at it. My brother Mark and all his mates are hardcore BMXers back in the day. And so even more like they might get some grainy VHS or something. Whereas now all the dudes are being able to study breakdown videos, watching the US. Okay, how did this happen? And then that's just molding it better and better.
It's a recursive improvement cycle.
Yeah.
It really is. And could you imagine what the level of fighters are going to be in about 30, 40 years, you know? Even now, looking at some of the up-and-coming fighters, I think about King in the Ring in 10 years, and it's just like, holy shit, this is going to be insane. This upcoming King in the Ring in June this year is absolutely stacked full of talent, mate.
Yeah.
Of very experienced fighters. You got people like Jake McCowart, who has had well over 80 fights. He's been fighting since he was a wee lad. And this dude would walk into the gym, Wayne Wairoa's gym in Rotorua, and he'd be scrapping gang members. He'd be scrapping the biggest motherfuckers in the gym.
Yeah.
And like he just, bro, all heart, all technique, all power. It's just, watch out for him, mate. He got a mean knockout last year on Lights Out, where they wore card trick. So card trick is rope wraps.
Yeah.
So they don't actually have gloves on, so it's brutal. And he got a wicked knockout, actually. And so he's in there. Who else we got? Dion Wilson as well, who used to train out of Mike's gym in freestyle.
Yeah.
But he trains out of House of Pain now under Ethan Ship.
Yeah.
Ethan Ship runs all the Knees of Fury. There's there's one of the 1 minute scraps fighters in there as well.
Nice.
Corin Braddock. He's very aggressive too. He's an awesome fighter. Who else is there? There's quite a few big names in there. So you can expect fireworks, mate. It's
King in the Ring, eh?
King in the Ring always brings the best fighters from around the country.
I think it was always big, but then when Izzy was on the come up and then was the champ, there was so much of those King in the Ring highlights showing, and it really has elevated that to one of those, I want to say tournament, but events, fight nights, you know, like that is like, hey, you win this. This is the
most prestigious show in New Zealand.
Exactly. And it's that sort of, it's the prestigious New Zealand title that goes, hey, people overseas all around the world know it and go, hey, that's legit.
Fighting one time in a night is crazy, but 3 times in one night?
Yeah.
A matter of a couple hours apart? Like, whoa, bro, that's hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
Super hard, super old school. Yeah, it's the anxiousness, the preparation. You get in, you win. The high, then low, coming it down, then going again, come back, going again.
And one thing that I often hear fighters say is that once they get to the second or third fight, there's no more adrenaline. So it's just pure brain power and pure digging. How deep can you dig?
Yeah.
And there's been a few fights where I've been like, wow, these fighters are they're digging so fucking deep, man. Michael Isaac from Hamilton versus Daniel Ruanga.
Yeah.
That went 4 rounds in the final of the King of the Ring. Man, these two dudes had nothing left in the tank, man. And then that 4th round got announced. Bro, and they just... I don't know where they pulled that out of, but Michael Isaac is a fantastic fighter, man. Yeah. Awesome fighter.
That's that. David Goggins says that he's going to go take their souls.
Yeah, bro.
And you see that in there and you look at it and it becomes the soul battle.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they throw down the gauntlet. And it's just like, it almost moves from a physical to a metaphysical like level as you see them just battling each other. That's when it just becomes like this sort of elite samurai, you know, like the true fighting spirits are going on.
I see a lot of rich people as well, CEOs and business owners that like to surround themselves around these world champion fighters and stuff. And I wonder if it's a certain sense of like, it makes them feel a little bit vulnerable knowing that there's a dude in here who could really you're almost invincible in the business world, but if you're sitting there with the fighter, you ain't invincible at all.
No.
And it's that knowledge of knowing, I don't know, it just gives them a sense of...
I think the thing is, there's definitely that, and there'll be some of it you're like, okay, cool. Is Kyra and I had this good chat, is business is so similar to the fight. It's so competitive.
Yeah.
It's so cutthroat. It's you've got to be on your best constantly. You know, like if you're not doing it, is you've got to fight to win everything.
Yeah.
Then you still got to shake hands and do it. So there's this. All of your success is built in the shadow. You know, it's the grind. It's in the shadows. It's like people don't see it. So when you often see these guys, and a lot of the time that are supporting the fight community, they're much closer to, I don't like the term self-made because no one's particularly self-made, but they're much more likely to be private-owned businesses than corporate-owned or something. And so,
100%, yeah. You can see that in the sponsoring as well.
Yeah.
A lot of it is privately owned businesses rather than big Woolworths or...
That's it. It's not going to be those ones, or it's not going to be one, you know, or telecom or something. Is it so they relate to the fighting spirit, I think, is in business, whilst it's great to support and you can do it in the team sport side of it, there is something that relates to that individual battle at the top that, hey, there's no one else. And that might be whether it's a CEO or somebody is like, hey, at the end of the day, the buck stops with them. They're responsible for everything. They've got to live and die by their sword. Yeah. And then so associating themselves with it is like a physical manifestation of like the business.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with people that are very similar to you. Maybe not in the fighting aspect, but in
the mental aspect. Yeah. And I think when they're trying to stay sharp or stay on the game, or they want to do it, or they like being around people that are like, hey, I'm going out there and I'm working the long hours. I'm not making excuses. I'm just like a fighter's sacrificing, and people is, you know, that dude that's running a big engineering workshop, they're sacrificed. You know, there's a lot more sacrifices that go on than people ever give it credit for when someone makes it to the top of the world in scaffolding or roofing or some of those things. Those aren't easy things to make it to the top of. I thought I'd just touch on it slightly and then we wrap it up, get into wrapping up. But you're talking about how good the fighters are going to be in 30 to 40 years. What I've just thought I'd touch on, and you can speak to it, is how clean people have to be now comparative to the back in the day. Like, there'll still be some of them, but we read about like Mark Hunts and him, you know, and like what's going on. But is the young rugby, the young league players, it's virtually no drinking, no partying, no smoking. It's even the kids going through Hamilton Boys, and like it's just a different scene. And do you see the same on the fight scene now? Is because it's becoming so competitive, there'll still be some level, but people are just having to say, no, I can't be drinking and smoking because of my part, you know, like that's going to step you back so much further. And then it's talking to Sheila, and she's now ice bathing, saunaing, and just the recovery.
Very strict lifestyle, right? There's a lot of fighters actually that are currently living that type of lifestyle. I see a lot of really good technique though, man. And it's when they're teaching the youth, they don't have the same muscle memories as adults. Yeah. So when they learn how to kick, they learn how to kick properly, and it just becomes muscle memory. Yeah. Man, you can hear the impact. Yeah. When they throw kicks, when they throw punches in it, man, it's quite surprising.
Oh yeah, it's the difference is, and let them do what they want to enjoy and play lots. But man, when you see kids that have gone through and become excellent martial artists, and I use that in the wider, whether it's a taekwondo karate style or a judo jiu-jitsu style or a boxing kickboxing, you know, if they become a martial artist when they're young and they're moving and some gymnastics, it's like, they can be so good as they 100%. Get on. But then you also get these other ones where it's like Izzy, epic dancer, and then the movement and the fluidity styles that they're able to tie in. So yeah, I love all the different stories and the way that it happens, and there's no distinct path, or if you do this and this is what you're going to be. And how New Zealand has a really fluid style even. And I will ask this one, actually, is do you see a huge level or variety of styles across like boxing
100%.
gyms and kickboxing gyms?
100%, bro.
Just give me some examples of the different sort of styles and the ways of doing it, because I love it as just a true fan of the arts.
Drilled combinations.
Yeah.
You can see those come through from each individual gym. Sometimes they'll release videos of them just doing some pad work, and I think you really see those drilled combinations come through in the fights as well. Big time.
What gyms have you got? Any gyms in particular that come for it?
But when it comes to boxing, peach boxing,
Yeah.
oh, dude, the power that some of these fighters are throwing with is just like, what the fuck? Sorry for the language, but honestly, it's like that. Kian Hand, great boxer. He's relatively new in his pro career. He had a good amateur career. He's undefeated, but this dude has some seriously insane power, and he carries it through the fight as well.
Yeah.
There's also his partner as well, who's ranked number 9 in the world, I believe, in her weight category. She's bloody awesome fighter, mate. I'm trying to think of her name, but just escapes me at this moment. It's going to piss me off because I'm going to drive off, and then it's going to hit me like, god damn it.
Yeah.
But her and her sister, they run they do a lot of the.
We'll find it and put it on the reel, or we'll put it underneath. Wayne saves me a lot like that.
But yeah, she throws with some serious power as well. Both of them recently came back from Fiji, where they both fit. Oh, she battled an Indian chick who was the Indian national champion. And it was a hard fight, man. You've never seen women go this hard. Yeah. Like, just with all due respect, sorry. Like, just in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mate, the best female fight I have ever seen.
Like it.
These girls are just going at it, bro. And it's just that, tucking that chin, just fucking going in. And not, like, obviously caring about the consequences, but, like, taking that calculated risk of becoming quite aggressive in the ring.
This is what I've said a few times, and I think is you can never take away is so many people have their world championship fight on a fight night, on a amateur sparring. Is everybody's only got so many, and that's it. When you go along and you can watch it, whether you're watching a Golden Gloves and you're often like, whoa, that was an epic. 2 dudes, 2 girls, 2 ladies throwing down.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's like an Izzy Kevin Gastelum level fight.
It was that level of fight, bro. It really was.
And you're like, and the thing is, and it might be, is that is the fighters, their careers. Yeah. And so being able to appreciate, oh, wow, people are putting it out and giving it their all, whether it's in a gym sometimes, whether it's on a fight night, it's a bigger card. It's
Keaton's partner, Emma Nesbitt, that's her name, Emma Nesbitt, mate. Honestly, she throws with some seriously terrifying power, bro. Yeah. Seriously, like, I'm sure you'll be able to see a video eventually online, but I reckon she's guaranteed future world champion.
So peach boxing's power. I believe like Team George, whether it's
100%. Emil, as well. They're like, oh, bro, there's some really good fighters. Greer coming out of there.
But I think with them, if Peach has got the power, is Team George, whether it's Kaito and Sean, the way that they slip, move, and counter punch, and they teach it a different, because they're different style, much smaller boxer, but it's not all stand big up and behind a jab at all. It's always slip, move.
And even Nigel Elliott's daughter, she's a pretty accomplished boxer, and she's Saskia is her name, Saskia Sassy Elliott. She's starting her pro career. I believe she's 3-0 at the moment. She just signed on to fight on BX9.
Wicked.
Another female boxer, man, that I think is going to make it to the top of the world.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen them for a few years now, and you just see the dedication that they're putting in, getting into their national teams, and it's like, oh, man, these dudes are going to be great.
Yeah.
And I think they spar a lot together, actually, Greer and Saskia.
Yeah.
Which at Kara's gym.
Yeah, well, Sheila was alluding to that. There's a large group of girls, ladies that are doing Auckland Waikato as that iron sharpening iron, and I think.
And for girls as well to see this, like, oh shit, there's someone that's only 20 years older than me or 15 years older than me.
Yeah.
that's actually getting onto the world stage fighting top tier athletes, and they're literally within arm's reach. The gym's only 2Ks down the road, and I think that's a very powerful thing, especially for youth that need that sort of direction or want that direction.
Oh, it's just powerful for humans. When humans can look 100%. At another human and go, if that human can do it, I think I can probably do it. It's 100%. How we don't get born with the innate ability to do things. We're not like an animal. We're not like a cat where you can just drop a cat. You get a kitten, do whatever, and it suddenly is always they turn into these hunters and they know everything. We don't. We have to look at other humans and go, hey, if that human can do that, I'm going to learn to do that. And so having them so many in the wider New Zealand community, the fight community, is like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it.
Do you think self-determination is self-taught? Or is that already within them? So, for instance, the determination of Francis, for instance, how he at that age made his own mental decision to make that change. Do you think that's something that's...
I think there's a mixture of nature and nurture, because I think some people just do naturally have it. It's why you get, you'll get 2 or 3 siblings from the same family and quite differing outcomes, as they've all been relatively nurtured the same. They might have had slightly different. I do just think it goes back to, I believe, is like people do have a natural tendency to be a gardener. Like I like gardening, and this is why I'm a gardener. I like gardening. I keep my orchards. I do my things. Bit of a farmer. I got a few sheep, but I'm not a hunter. I don't mind hunting. Like I have nothing against it, but it has no desire. And fishing is the same. As I don't mind. I'll go out on a boat, but if I was going on a boat, I'd be like, can we just go to the beach and swim? Whereas I meet so many guys and girls that if their soul yearns to be on the water fishing, it's those guys that their soul yearns to be out there with a pack of dogs hunting the pigs. Their soul yearns to be in the gym. And that's the same for me. Is I just love the smell of sweaty leather, hanging out with a bunch of working class guys, doing it. And so, I think it's a mixture of nature and nurture, but you get a little bit of nature and then you can nurture it yourself. And the more that you choose to do it is you make one little choice like Francis will there, and you keep making another and another, and then you have done it yourself.
You touched on something before that kind of I like to think about a lot, and that's having a natural resistance to something. For me in particular, when I think of a natural resistance, I'm actually quite grateful that I'm naturally just resistant to any form of gambling.
Yes.
Mate, there's a lot of people out there within our community that unfortunately they're addicted to gambling. And it's just that dopamine hit. And I wish there was more promotion for anti-gambling right now, because right now I'm seeing a lot more promotion for gambling by overseas companies that are just going to come and rape and pillage our lower socioeconomic communities, like TABs. If you looked at the location of TABs, you'd find the majority of them are actually in low socioeconomic areas. Maori are 3 times more likely to be addicted to gambling. And it's just like we're allowing it to happen, and it's just...
Gambling does my head in. This is one of those, so I'll give it to it, and this is the thing, I'm not sponsored by TAB, and I would not take their money because I do not believe in it. I'm not, in the right setting, I'm not adverse to a little bit of blackjack, and that, I think it's pretty fucking stupid, to be blunt. But pokies are just horrendous, because certain people are just... I have a real affinity. I haven't drunk for like 9 months now. Like I just had that when I first had a drink, I just wanted another drink. And so alcohol would be one for me. Pokies don't, but it is just this addictive nature of it. Gambling, sports gambling. It's just so. Anyway, my old man, there's two things that stopped me gambling. One was I played at pokies when I was maybe 15 or something. I was at the Takapuna Bowling Club and they had something, and I went up there and I put $1 or $2 in, and I just lost straight away. And I was like, that sucked. I could have gone and bought a fucking $2 drink or something. And then my old man worked at the casino when it first opened, and he just explained to me, he's just like, the numbers don't stack up. If you go and play the slot machines, best paying out ones are you got to put in like $10 line. They pay out 90 cents for every dollar you put in.
So you're losing from the get-go.
You are always lose. There's no system. There's no code. The lower ones, the 5 or the 20 cent ones, they pay out 80%.
Yeah.
So that means you put in $100, you get out 80. You put in 100, you get out 80. Lotto, same shit. You go and play it at the pokies at the pub, it's like 50 to 60. You put in 100, you get out $50. And that's, there's no, mate, that is the gap. Those are the returns on it. It's just,
it's crazy.
It's just crazy. And it's just,
my granddad, growing up, used to go to the pub in Natia, which is not too far from here. And every day, 6 days a week, he would have $50. So he was fairly well off. Definitely, he was a multimillionaire. So he had the money. And when he'd go to the pub, he'd spend $50 every day on the slot machines. And it's like, ooh, that's a lot of money. 1 week, that's $300 for 6 days. Like a month, that's $1,200. You know, that adds up real quick. $14,400 per year. That's a lot of money.
It is.
And there are a lot more people out there who are spending a lot more than that.
And and it's a lot of money. And I've built my life. Is you could take. It was the same with lotto. And I said to my wife, I'm not ever going to buy lotto tickets. I don't believe in it. Is you can take that money and you just, if you work it out and compound it over 20, 25 years of putting into a Kiwi saver.
10% return per year.
Yeah, which is what Generate gives it. You know, like they do earn it. And just like people, well, the share market's a racket or a rort. Yeah, it is. And it's a rort to make money. It is designed to perpetually increase. And unless our entire society breaks down, and they've been predicting that forever, and it hasn't happened, and it's hundreds of years, and I don't think it will change, is they will keep just elevating it up, just like going and putting your money in the pokies, will just keep reducing it down and down.
I've seen someone go in and waste their whole paycheck on it in a single night.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is a very scary prospect, especially if you have kids to look after, if you have a mortgage to pay. And I just wish that New Zealand was a little bit more stringent with these gambling companies. They already are, but I wish they could personally, for me, they either need to increase that winning margin or it can't be like 1% of every slot thing. No, it needs to be a lot higher than that, but or outrageous. I don't know. Maybe not outlaw it. So that's one of the things I
think what I would see from it, and it gets tough on all these things, because if you completely take it away, I don't want to live in a CCP type world where like you can't do it, you know, like we're completely locked down and you can't do it. But on the flip side, what I just like, you wanted to bring it up and I was happy to talk to it, is people need to realize the dangers of it, and that it's and that you don't have to do it. It's like you don't have to go and get hammered every weekend. You don't have to go to the pokies and spend the money. You don't, if you support the league or the rugby or whatever, you don't have to bet on it. You can be a UFC fan and you don't need to bet on the UFC. And it's just costing you money. And you could take that money, and if you want to bet on anything, I would bet on the share market, and then I wouldn't bother placing the bets yourself, because you can't compete with the absolute geniuses that have done the finance degrees and have the AI freaking algorithms working for them. Just go and go, okay, who are the best things? Fisher Funds, Simplicity, you know, like.
Or you could just get an ETF of the
that's
top
what I mean,
10 companies, and like, you're guaranteed a return over 10 years because they spread that risk out.
Well, that's where you really play the market. An ETF is like an electronically traded fund, but they will just buy the top 500 US companies, the top 50 New Zealand companies, and whoever's in those companies, they will spread it out across that, and then you are just fundamentally backing the winners. If they drop out of that, boom, see you later, they're sold, a new company comes in, and you go Google, or you don't even Google it, chat GPT it and go, what is the returns on that? And it is compounded. And that's one of those things that does do my head in. New Zealand people go, I could never afford a house, so I could never get ahead. And you're like, if you start and you compound the money now. And blessings, live a decent, you know. Give it 10 years, you'll be shocked. Maybe not in a year or two, but 10 years, and 10 years creeps up on you.
If you look at Warren Buffett, he bought an amazing amount of shares within for Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But through the decades, the dividend payouts started to get increasingly larger and larger, and now he's making a fair fortune just off dividend payments, which is...
He just backed the American economy.
Yeah.
And it's the same in New Zealand. You could back the New Zealand. I would diversify past the New Zealand, but New Zealand, Australia, and America, but buy multiple economies, and you can got access to that now. Watch that go up. And the dude that I'd shout out with that is this guy, Luke Keemings, Keep the Change, is he's always putting that sort of stuff out there into it. Nice, good Kiwi guy, grew up tough, made heaps, and done well now. So it's just so... That way you can enjoy the UFC. You'll enjoy everything. You can afford the $50 or $60 for a fight night ticket because you haven't gone and spent it at the pokies. You're not going to win that back. It's just accept whatever's gone is gone.
One thing that I struggle with, and I'm no financial expert. I certainly like to know about what I'm spending my money on, but I think the New Zealand's economy is propped up by property in a very dangerous way.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously meat and dairy as well, but I think a lot of the economy is propped up by
100%, but I'll talk to it and I'll give you my rundown on it. The New Zealand economy's always been propped up on property. So from the moment that the New Zealand company, old dodgy Wakefield, might have been Edward Gibbon, he's a bit of a crook. He came up with the concept of the New Zealand company when he was in jail in England because he had abducted a rich dude's daughter and sort of forcibly married her so he could get the fortune after his first wife had died. And so they set up...
crazy story.
Yeah, and so they set up the New Zealand company. He got some investors. They got Wellington, and then they acted like Wellington was flat, and then they sold off Wellington, which is why you got like the Hutt Valley, which is a river plain, and so prone to flooding. That's where you've got all these properties on the side of hills which is Wellington. Convinced all these settlers. Auckland is the same, as Auckland is a property that's been founded on the concept of capital gains. And so the current government is actually trying to stop it, and house prices haven't gone up in 5 years. But you can't... It is underpinned by the value of property, like the farm and everything there. Yeah. They are sort of trying to do it, but it's not any different to virtually everywhere else. That it's...
Do you think the New Zealand government uses the inflated property prices on their balance sheet?
100%.
For assets, so they keep it purposely high for...
And the banks do it as well. So everybody's aware that this game, to a degree, is up, but it's not that it's going to fail because we can afford to pay the debt on the current value of the property.
Yep.
What has failed is the concept of 10% ever recurring value of property without actually that property being any more valuable. And what's really harmed it is local government rates. So you used to be able to go, okay, my property's worth 500K, but the big killer at the moment is rates and insurance.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have a mortgage, you could own a house and it's like $1,500 a year for your rates and $1,000 for insurance. Now it's $6,000 for insurance rates and maybe $4,000 for insurance. That eating...
I'm paying $85 a week in rates.
Yeah. And so 4,000, so what that's doing is making property less and less of a long-term hold. And
the capital gains just simply not as...
The capital gains is just simply not there. And then you've got the depreciating asset value. And this is like in Japan, they did this in the 80s, is owning a property is great. I would vote for I own a property, but you've got to maintain that property. And so people act like a house is like you buy a house and the land for 500K and the land is worth 200K and the house is worth 300K. And the next year is it worth 330K. But is it really? Because it's actually more like a car that it's probably should be worth 270. Because after 10 years, you're going to need to redo those gutters and paint those,
And that's why you always hear the older generation going, mate, that house is not worth that much.
The best thing that I could see for New Zealand is that property prices relatively stabilise, slowly go down with land, is that they free up more lifestyle land and that, and so people can build a house for cheaper. But as we just go a generation where the property value sort of stays, people pay off their mortgages, but it's not going up and up. And then so people can get in and buy it. And then it makes it owning a business better, investing in the share market, you know, like.
I think the government actually had a bit of they were in between a rock and a hard place because there was a massive exodus of Kiwis leaving overseas. And unfortunately, like, what happens if there's too much supply is house prices start going down. So I think they kept the immigration quite high.
You're 100% right. All of that affects into how they're doing it, and they deliberately have to do that. And that's why you see them letting in all sort of so. But anyway, I want to finish it up. It was heaps of fun. I would like to do it again. Next time you're up for it is we tell more stories and give me just more of the history of the combat community. But where are people best placed to find you, either to follow along on the journey and then contact you if they've got a show?
You can find me on Instagram, MC Mike on the mic.
Yeah. That's the best spot. That's where you're posting the mic. MC Mike on the mic. That's where I followed you. That's where I found you.
So hopefully it'll lead to an overseas show soon.
Yeah, man. Well, that's it. Put it out there and manifest that out.
Universe,
I can't see why not. If they're bringing on our fighters, let's bring on our MCs and get it out there.
I appreciate you really having me on here, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate you.
With you.